In this chapter, we'll be talking about how we try to control how other people see us. Self-handicapping occurs when we are worried that we're not going to be able to perform a valued task. And in order to not look bad to other people, we deliberately sabotage our own abilities so that if you don't do well on the task, you can say, oh, it's because of this thing that happened. It's not because I'm not good at it. And if you do well on the test, you can say, oh man, I did really well despite the fact that I had this handicap. So no matter how you perform on the test, you look good to other people. And importantly, you don't look bad. So here's a comic. Read the comic. Well, pause the video, read the comic, and then when you're finished, unpause the video. So the curly-haired guy is engaging in self-handicapping. So he doesn't study for this exam. And when he gets a C-, he makes a big deal out of the fact that he got a C- despite the fact that he didn't even study, or he only studied for one night. And so he kind of gets to not look like he's dumb because he can say, well, I didn't really study for this test, so it's not that I'm dumb, it's that I just didn't study. And if he hadn't studied and had still done really well, he would have looked good also because he would have said, well, despite the fact that I didn't study, I still did well on this test. So when you self-handicap, no matter what the outcome is, you're still going to look good. But of course, self-handicapping is bad because you are bringing down your own performance, and that's not good at all. So don't self-handicap, even though this little PowerPoint slide is making it sound like it's a good strategy. It's really not, because you're not going to end up doing as well as you could. Self-verification occurs because we want other people to see our true selves, even our negative parts, and that's because we don't want other people to put us on a pedestal. We want them to not see this awesome, amazing person who can do no wrong, but we want them to see somebody who can make mistakes, and that's how we see ourselves and other people see us, and there's cohesion between those two points of view, and we want that cohesion. So even though sometimes there are parts of ourselves that we don't feel good about, we will actually seek out information that other people see those parts of us that aren't so great. The spotlight effect occurs when we overestimate how much other people notice us. So there are all these social media accounts out there, and social media accounts tend to make people hyper-focused on themselves, and that makes them think that everybody else is going to see everything they're doing because they post it on Facebook, and then they expect that everybody's going to read it and know what they were doing. Now, the spotlight effect certainly existed before social media, and the reason is because we are all obsessed with ourselves, and we are so obsessed with ourselves that we don't adjust correctly when we think about how much other people think about us. So if you remember in the last chapter, we talked about anchoring and adjustment. So the spotlight effect essentially says we anchor on, okay, well, I'm really obsessed with myself, so I'm going to use that as my anchor. And now when I adjust, thinking about how much other people are obsessed with me, I don't adjust enough. And so I think that everybody else is paying attention to what I'm doing. And social media has certainly exacerbated that feeling. And the best example I can think of the spotlight effect in sort of contemporary culture is the selfie. So people take all these selfies and they want people to see them, and they think other people are really going to notice these selfies, and they're going to see what I'm doing, and they're going to care about me as much as I care about me. Self-monitoring is when people attend to self-presentation to create the desired impression. So self-monitoring kind of stems from the spotlight effect, where people are thinking that other people are really attending to what they do. And so people will try to change their behavior so that they are giving the desired self-impression. And this can be good. For example, if you're going on a job interview, you should take a shower and you should use correct grammar and you should dress in job-appropriate clothing because you want them to think that you'll be a good employee and that you're a good fit for that organization. So in that instance, self-monitoring is helping you. Self-monitoring can also be a bad thing, as illustrated by this short video of this girl taking a selfie, and she's working really hard to get an angle that flatters her, and she's not feeling very successful about it. And so she is very highly self-monitoring. She's working very hard to create the desired impression.